It's a widespread phenomenon that when you ask anyone what the biggest indie game of all time is, they're gonna say Undertale. And if they don't, they've never played the game and they probably live under a rock. I'm a unique case though, because I would give you that answer despite the fact that I've never played the game myself. Yeah, I know, I'm a total fraud. So that's why I finally decided to buy it when Mr. Fox generously posted his game for $1, which is every Steam user's wet dream. While I've never played Undertale, I'm aware of a lot of the major characters and pieces of the plot since this game has been all over the internet in various different ways, so I knew I had to choose between doing the pacifist or the genocide route. And I chose to do the genocide route first, because Hopes and Dreams is a great soundtrack that I wanted to feel like I earned. And come on, look at this guy. We punch in our file name, fall into our little bit of flowers, hit that subscribe button, and make our way into the ruins. Immediately, we meet Flowey the Flower, and he gives us a rundown on what's going on. The red heart here is our soul, and the LV here stands for love. That's right, if you thought it meant level, you get a big fat F. To help us out, Flowey offers us some friendliness pellets to help us get stronger.
Love is shared through. Alright, friendliness pellets. Are you ready? Move around, cause Maisie can. I'm sorry, no, Hey buddy, you missed him. No, I know, I have some commitment issues, Flowey. I'm really bad at accepting love. Look, no, I promise, yeah, we'll try again. I'm sorry, no, a little? Well, I thought they were friendly. Oh, okay, yeah. No, I'm a little scared now.
Flowey is apparently a monstrous bastard and is over our little games, but we're saved by Goat Mom Toriel at the last minute, and she takes us home to help keep us safe in the ruins. Her house is a long way from where we fell, so we need to solve all sorts of puzzles to reach the end. The ones in the beginning are straightforward, with game journalist yellow paint all over the place telling us where to go, and a few rooms later, Toriel guides us to a dummy that she wants us to talk to, but the thing looked at me funny, so I killed it.
The dummies are not for fighting, they're for talking. We don't want to hurt anybody, do we?
Yeah. Now we start running into enemies, and as the route implies, we need to kill everything we come across. 99% of fights are random encounters, so we'll just deal with the enemies as we come across them. Once we reach this room, Toriel makes a request to us that we walk to the other end of the room by ourselves. One of my chatters mentioned a silly little thing that can happen if you hold both up and down against a wall, so of course I had to try it out.
Oh! I'm coming, Toriel. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Toriel jumps out at us from behind the pillar to explain she wanted to see if we were independent, and gives us a cell phone so she can abandon us in the middle of the monster-infested ruins and expects us to just stay put like an iPad kid. We ignore her and start moving through the ruins again to kill everything in sight while Toriel keeps calling every 2 steps to remind us about our car's extended warranty. After a save, we run into the first mini-boss of the game, Nabstablook, which you can tell is a mini-boss since it has a unique theme to the fight. The fight's pretty easy since Nabstablook will just sometimes not be feeling it, and when we kill him,
you lose 1 XP to fighting Nabstablook?
At this point, I took time to grind out kills so that eventually when we get an encounter, it'll tell us that nobody came, which is how we get the game to recognize we are now in the genocide route. The only annoyance about this is that it's impossible to get a few steps into a room without having to see that screen every single time. Getting past the annoyance of those screens and solving a few more puzzles, we could pick up a fun toy knife and surprise Toriel by showing up at her place unannounced.
You smell that? Yeah, I ripped ass. Oh, that smells bad. Surprise! Oh, you farted. Okay.
Toriel shows us a room that's ours, but I don't want to be here. I need to kill. I try to tell Toriel that I want to leave, but she just wants to talk about snails until she gets fed up with our ass and decides she's just gonna blow up the exit so no one can leave her again. Girl, leave me out of your issues. Eventually, she tries to call our bluff and says that we need to go through her, so we call her bluff and one-tap her to death. Wow, I can't believe we just did that tutorial. Wait a minute. Tutorial. Oh, I get it! Because the ruins are the tutorial of the game. That's funny! That's so funny! Now that we've escaped the ruins with blood on our hands, it's time to soak them even redder with new fresh blood.
Just going on a nice relaxing stroll. Oh! Who's there? I'll kill you. I'm gonna kill you. Hey. 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 Hey, who do you think you are? Uh. 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 No. Ew.
Mr. 1 HP over here introduces himself and shows me off to his brother, who wants to catch humans, only to go, okay, cool, bye. What a bonehead. Of course, our only goal is to kill everything we see, from random enemies to blind dogs to the snowman who doesn't actually contribute to the kill count. I just wanted him dead. We run back into the Wario and Waluigi wannabes and embarrass the hell out of the tall one by skipping his puzzle because I just want to kill, kill, kill. After passing the plate of frozen spaghetti, I get shown the pinnacle of humor that this game has to offer. To offset the absolute peak humor, we get to encounter Jerry in our fights, and Jerry is an absolute tank. He's a tank because his whole purpose is to waste your time by acting like a redditor and make you sit through his annoying lines while you slowly chip away his damage while not attacking you in any capacity. Luckily, according to my chatters, he's a rare encounter, so hopefully I won't have to sit through that again. Are you serious? Thank God the only nuisance to deal with here is Jerry, because two dogs try to jump us that are very evidently a couple, and seeing this means there's only one logical way to handle this fight.
Well, you know the way to crush a man is to crush his spirit.
Sure enough, losing his dog wife makes him depressed, and therefore makes him an easy kill. We get to undermine the Skelbros yet again, and at this point, Papyrus just gives up, because it's exhausting to see your hard work be for nothing, and I think that seeing that honestly hurt me more than killing Toriel. The only thing even worse than that was having to look this guy in the face knowing what I have to do. We finally encounter Sans and Papyrus one last time, and as I mentioned before, if you crush a man's spirit, you crush the man, which means that yet again there's no puzzle to deal with. I'm sure Sans has something to say about my behavior since I'm not playing along like Yas, so maybe I'll just check in to be sure.
A good time after all. Say, I've been thinking. Seems like you're gonna fight my brother pretty soon. Here's some friendly advice. If you keep going the way you are now, you're gonna have a bad time.
At this point, we only need 6 more enemies to kill in this area, so I go back to get the nobody came screen and make our way back to the ominously empty Snowden. Since the town has been abandoned, it's easy to stock up on all the things we want for free since there's no one to stop us from stealing. And just past the town in the fog, we meet Papyrus. He says that despite the path we're going down, there's still time for redemption, and offers his help to put us on the right track. It's so sweet, it almost makes me want to accept his offer. Almost. Doesn't mean it still doesn't hurt. Now we're in the waterfall, and I have 18 new victims to find, and I'm hoping to make this kid one of them. Apparently they're just here to see her, or whoever it is they're talking about. The grass here is long and is perfect for hiding, because this armored beast is our farming over this area, and it appears that this beast is the one the monster kid is geeking out over. Can't say I feel the same though, because I want that beast dead. Further in, the game gives us a little lore on the monsters versus humans history and how the strength of every monster soul is equivalent to the power of one human soul, and something about monsters can take human souls as their own, which might relate to how Flowey said my soul isn't mine earlier in the game, but who cares about that when we're just here to kill? Unfortunately, I'm not the only one here to kill, because the armor's back and keeps throwing spears at me that keep hurting my soul. But we hop into the grass to try and escape, and the kid that keeps bothering us takes one for the team. Maybe they aren't so bad after all. We eventually find the ballet shoes, which are going to carry us for what we have coming up, and use them to grind out some more kills, before spending way too long playing with this piano. The upcoming area is rainy, so we grab a free umbrella to shield ourselves from the elements. What? Just because I'm a cold-blooded killer doesn't mean I want my hair to get wet. The monster kid borrows our umbrella because skill issue no arms, and yaps the entire time about their hero or something. I wasn't paying attention, I was too distracted by the thought of killing. The monster kid leaves us alone to find another way up the sledge, and we run into Undyne again trying to booby trap the floor so we run into her spears. The segment's annoying because it's a maze you gotta figure out while the floor tries to attack you. But despite that, I was schmoving big, and somehow got out of this room during a fight transition. Undyne finally corners us, and with nowhere to go, this is the end of the run. If she wasn't stupid. Instead of killing the human that's bent on slaughtering everything in its path, she just decides to throw us into an easily escapable junkyard, and I get the sweet pleasure of tearing down another enemy and fulfill our 18 kill count, leaving just one left for the area. After some long dark pathways, we get greeted with a dead end and the end to our game. At last, no bridge to collapse, Undyne here to finish the job. Our run is finally over. Nothing to save us now. Except for the monster kid jumps out again, and Undyne drags him away, allowing us to make our escape. Just as we think we're in the clear, the monster kid catches up again, but this time has the balls to stand up to us because Undyne told them we're evil. I don't like being called names, so I'm gonna kick the shit out of this kid. But at the last second, Undyne takes the hit and lets the kid escape. God, it feels so good to finally get her out of the way. After dealing with being chased, it's gonna feel so good to never have to deal with her again. Rip Bo's... Huh? Undyne becomes filled with determination and transforms into our biggest threat yet. Undyne the Undying. You'd think that since every boss we've encountered so far dies in a single blow, that we wouldn't really be needing to deal with anything too serious until the infamous funny man at the end of the run. But the game just decides to throw the most random curveball here for a fight with incredible music to boot. Mechanically, this fight is so cool because when your soul is green, you're stationary and have to shield yourself from incoming arrows from all directions. And when it's red, you have to move around to avoid Undyne's attacks. This fight is incredibly hard though, and took me almost 40 minutes to beat her. What really gets you about this boss is that you feel like when you die, you know what to expect in your next attempt. But time and time again, you keep dying to the stuff you already know that's coming. After 12 deaths though, we finally land the killing blow and watch Undyne fade into dust. And with that, we can get out of the waterfall. The Hotlands is the next destination through the underground, and we need to kill a whopping 40 enemies to continue. So all we can do is strengthen our desire to kill and move forward. Not too far in is a lab with all sorts of oddities, and the oddest is this robot who taunts us before running away. Of course, once I catch the sight of something I want to kill, I have to kill it. So we go forth deeper into the Hotlands. Along the way are puzzles that we can't interact with, which makes this game seem so cool when you aren't stabbing everything in sight. And once we make it past some steam vents, we come across two royal guards who try to avenge Undyne. But like every other monster, they turn to dust without barely lifting a finger. At this point in the story, the entire path ahead of us is rather barren, with a straight shot to the core, so interactions and major fights are far and few between. There actually is a unique fight though against Muffage, just a little further in, and we get treated to another unique boss theme. Unfortunately, the fight ends so abruptly that we don't get to enjoy it, and the game wants to try to make me feel bad for killing people by having a little spider pay its respects. But joke's on you, game, I left my humanity back in the ruins. This does highlight a complaint I have with the genocide route though, because you'd think the game would throw hard bosses at you full force, but we're approaching the end of the game and the only noteworthy fight so far has been Undyne the Undying. Yeah, you're not supposed to be having fun, a human soul is far stronger than a monster soul, blah blah blah, but it would have at least been a bit cooler, you know? Right after Muffet is where Metaton is. At least I assume so since he's on the building and has a fountain in the lobby. Surprisingly, there's still a guy in here working his 9 to 5, and when we threaten him, he gives us the most capitalist slave response possible. Finally, we reach the core, which is the final area of Hotlands, and we still have about 30 enemies left to kill to progress. We take all the time we need to grind out the kills, and finally reach the robot I've been wanting to short circuit since we saw him. Metaton has a form exclusive to the genocide route called Metaton Neo, which is finally another unique boss to struggle. Never mind. Yeah, fun fact about this boss, in the code its defense value is set to negative 40,000, so you're designed to one-tap this boss more than any other enemy in the game. All that's left now is to walk their new home, modeled exactly like the home Toriel lives in at the ruins. We need to find 2 keys in the house, and while we search for them, Flowey starts to pop up and reminisce on the past like I was a part of it, which probably means I was supposed to do Genocide Route last for lore purposes, but I'll let future Joker figure out the pieces of that puzzle later. We find both keys, a locket, and a real knife in the house, and descend down the stairs to get a drawn-out info dump from Flowey for a whole bunch of lore, and then finally, we reach the moment. In the illuminated hall with just our shadows, there he is. Huh. Always wonder why people never use their strongest attack first. So, a little confession. I've never actually played Undertale before, but there's this fun little website called Bad Time Simulator that lets you just fight Sans. And back in middle school, I would get so bored of my classes, I would grind it out all the time. It's been a long time since then, but the muscle memory never really leaves you. So if it seems like I know what I'm doing already, that's because I do. Everyone knows the Sans fight is infamously hard, because it's a test of endurance over a test of strength. Sans will always dodge your attacks, and you need to continue to try and attack him to progress the fight forward. Obviously, despite my experience, I did not beat him on the first try, but at least I got the read in the beginning of the second attempt. Doesn't he like pull this on you like the second time through? He like... Yeah, you thought you can get me, buddy. A funny detail in these fights is how Sans will taunt you after each death knowing how many times you've died, which does a great job at pissing you off even more. Eventually, there's a point in the fight where Sans gets tired of fighting and tries to appeal to our emotions, thinking we can get better. But after all this killing, why would I stop here? Now, if you thought the fight was hard, you'd be right, and probably scared to know that it gets even worse from this point on, because now you can take damage while trying to menu to attack or heal, and on top of that, Sans attacks just get harder. Of course, the fight is death after death, similar to Undyne the Undying, where I just need to remember attack patterns and try my best not to get hit. Eventually, at the point Sans decides to spare us, I was curious to see what would happen if we accepted his mercy. Yeah. Oh, okay. I just got dunked on. Because I was like, alright, I already tried attacking him. Let's see what happens if I try sparing him. No, I deserve that. From here on out, it was just try again. No special tricks anymore. Aside from me backtracking to go buy some better heals. The fights got further and further, and on one attempt I even died on the final part of the final attack. But eventually, after 10 tries, I finally got this. Yes! Did I just do it? Did I just win? Finally, we beat the Onslaught. But that wasn't Sans' special attack? Oh god, I'm at 1 HP. I don't think I can do anymore. Oh. His plan is to just do nothing so we never get our turn. This clever bastard. But we're more clever than he is. Can I touch the left side of the box now? I can't. Whoa. Whoa. Did you really think you'd be able? Oh, we got him. After nearly an hour and a half of attempts, we beat Sans, and now nothing stands in our way. Not even Asgore, who wants to try to talk it out, or even Flowey, the menace who believes in kill or be killed, begging us for mercy. All that's left is, well, us, but not us? Again, weird lore implications. In the end, Joker proposes to erase the world since there's nothing left for us. I said, hell nah, if there's something else to kill, I want to kill it. But I misunderstood, because I too am something that could be killed. This sequence not only minimized my screen, but it just straight up closed Undertale. Yeah, if you refuse, the game just shuts down completely. If you try to boot it back up, all that's there is wind howling in the background and a black screen. To do anything, you have to sit on the screen for a full 10 minutes in real life before you're given the opportunity to bring everything back in exchange for your soul. Sucks for this idiot, I already sold mine for a Costco hot dog, they can have it for all I care. And with that, everything is back to how it was in the beginning, and we reach the full end for the genocide route. Now that I've played Undertale, I understand why this game has a grip on half the internet. I know all I did was kill everything I saw, but the game still had so much personality, from its characters to its settings, and even the lore seems so deep. It appears I only have a small piece of it because there's a whole other route that I need to play, and after this experience, I know I'm going to be back for a pacifist run soon. Thank you all so much for watching the video. I'm hoping that going forward I can start making more of these videos based on streams I've done with my reactions included, so why don't you go give my Twitch channel a follow. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.